Okay, you saw the title. You know what this is. I've been wanting to make this for a long time, but I've been a little scared. It's been about 2 years since I have been officially free from nicotine, and now I want to just bitch about it because I don't want it to come off as me bragging or trying to be a savior or anything. I just purely want to bitch about why I fucking hate it. So I hope you all enjoy. Let's get into this. I apologize in advance if I stray off topic sometimes or if I ramble a little too much. I'm a little manic and I am doing this unscripted. Hopefully that'll be more entertaining. I just want to say right off the bat, for the people who might still be addicted that watch this, if you're still addicted to nicotine in any form, don't fall for don't fall for the idea that it's literally impossible to quit, because there's just many people that have actually quit. Instead, keep trying to educate yourself. That's all I'm going to say, is keep trying to learn new ways, learn new methods. And if you're really curious, specifically look up The Easy Way by Alan Carr. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want this video to be a whole thing of like, I'm going to help you quit. That's not what this is. I'm here to rant about shit since I fucking quit. Before I actually fully bitch about it all the way, I want to give you a little bit of just my own experience with nicotine and the forms of it that I consumed, if it really matters. But it doesn't. It shouldn't. Because at the end of the day, just all nicotine is fucking disgusting and it's a fucking addictive poison. No, I just need to tell you all this so you don't think that this is some like paid shit where I just suddenly have this knowledge that someone threw in front of my face for me to sell to other people. Like, nah, this is something like I literally just found in my own life experience. And like, these are just genuinely my own opinions that I've formed that I feel like a lot of people will form when they quit. Like, it's either you have these opinions because you never did smoke and you just like have an outside observation of smokers, or you were a smoker and then became one that isn't, and now you could see the bullshit. I like to think after 2 years now, I'm like fully aware of like, holy fucking like all the fucking shit that I used to do myself, and now I am seeing, when I see other people do this kind of shit in relation to their addiction, it's like, damn. I'm getting off topic here, though. I'm getting off topic. I'll get into more details on what I mean by that later. But seriously, nicotine, specifically cigarettes, ruined my life, specifically for, no joke, almost half of my fucking lifespan. So I'm 27 now. I just recently turned 27. I stopped around 2 years ago. See, I'm kind of glad I'm losing track. Like, I'm literally losing track of. I used to lose track of when I started smoking it. Now I'm glad I'm losing track of when I fucking stopped, because I just don't really care that much anymore about it. But anyways, for a good solid 10 fucking years, it's like a little more than 10 years of my life. I started around like, so when I first started smoking, I was like, I have to think back on this. I was literally around 13, 14. And I was still in like 7th, 8th grade, yeah, so it literally was a good solid 10 years of my life that I was addicted to nicotine. And my main form at first was cigarettes, but believe me, I have sadly dived into all forms of nicotine. I've done the fucking Zins. I haven't even gotten to those yet. I don't even want to start bitching about that yet. I mainly was always a cigarette smoker, though. But believe me, I was so addicted. Whenever I had an opportunity to get any other form of nicotine, when I couldn't get cigarettes, I would get them. I would get it, just itching for it. You got to get it when you're that much, like when you're that addicted to it. Okay, so like, actually, that's one of the things I want to bitch about more too, is the fact that even though it's underlooked, like the addiction of it, you might not want to feel this way about yourself while you're addicted, but it really do feel like a fucking heroin addiction or like a fucking crack addiction. Because you don't get it and you start to become a little monster. Like, you start to like lash out on people. Now, while I was still addicted, while you're addicted, it's hard to like see some of this shit and be aware of yourself, because you're addicted. Like, you're constantly fucking hooked on this shit. It's constantly fucking being put in your system by yourself. But even when I was younger, and it's not like after 10 years that was my first time thinking of wanting to quit. But even when I was younger, I would lash out at my mom and shit. Like, sometimes I would or my sisters, just anybody around me, I would just like lash out randomly. Now, I know I kind of also have bipolar, that's like a thing. But now that I think back on it, I'm like, did I? Or was that actually just a result of me going through nicotine withdrawal, and then in certain moments just fucking lashing out until I could get my little fucking cigarette. Okay, so here's the next part about nicotine that I fucking hate, especially while looking back on it. And it's crazy because I see other people fall into it all the time now. It's so much of a fucking trap that now companies try to use other forms of nicotine to try to convince you that you're saving yourself from the nicotine. Like, it's like, all right, vaping. I almost don't even have to talk about this anymore because now there is more research being done on it, but there's still not enough. When I was younger too, I remember, like I would see people with their fancy fucking vapes and blowing their big fucking clouds. So admittedly, that was cool as fuck. Like as a kid, it looks cool, it looks appealing, but it's not. But I remember thinking I was smart by joining the wave of all the other nicotine addicts and thinking, let me switch to vaping. And in the end, all it really does is just give you another form to be addicted to. So, but still, I remember just convincing my mom. Like, I went on this whole act of convincing my mom, like, Mom, you have to take me to go buy this vape. Like, it's going to be good for me because it'll help me quit. It never did. It never did, by the way. Man, I was like, no, like, the debate of what's worse is still open, right? But man, I was probably inhaling more shit that wasn't oxygen more often with the vape than I was when I was smoking. But it's just, we already know that, like, we have enough research on cigarettes that it's like, damn, there's like fucking 7,000 chemicals just in the secondhand smoke itself. And another funny part is, even after switching to vaping, since that moment of me starting vaping, for years, until I finally quit, I would go on back and forth to switch back and forth between vaping and cigarettes. It was just another trap. It was just more traps that I fell into. All right, the next thing I want to bitch about, though, before I forget, I just want to bitch about how disgusting I would let myself live, and even just like ignoring the effects that it had on other people around me or animals around me. Now, when I lived with my mom still a couple years ago, that's when my smoking really got worse, because I was in a small town. I had nothing to do. Like, my boredom levels were definitely high. I had hobbies and shit, but not a lot of them were fully enjoyable without, other people and cool people. When you're in an area that's small and uninhabited, it's really not, there's not that many cool people to associate with. And it's easy to just be bored and stay home and just smoke all day. But that's the funny part, right? Is there's like nothing more boring than that. And I think inevitably this is like where my relationship with my mom spiraled downward when I still lived there, was because that's all I did. All I did was stay home and smoke. Now, even when I had a job, all I did was go to work and come home and smoke and, burn shit on the back porch. I'd be just making them. Oh yeah, I want to talk about, like, before I would even go out and smoke on my back porch, there was a time where, now this is where it's like, damn, even against my own beliefs, nicotine still had me making choices where I wouldn't have if I wasn't just that addicted. In the winter it gets cold, so you don't really want to go stand outside, right? But I always knew, like, from the moment I started smoking, that it was just, like, terrible for the environment itself. Like, it definitely just leaves, like, poison around you, and just fucking, the air around you is fucking tainted. But I was always concerned with cats. Because I remember, I'm not even making this up, the first time I ever smoked a cigarette, I came home and it was the first time I ever saw my kitten, who was born on my lap, react to me in the way he did. Like, okay, this I'm gonna try to enact it. Like, my cat literally made the face of disgust when he first smelled it. And he's a kitten, this was his first exposure to the smell of a cigarette in the house, was me, as a 14, 13-year-old. I remember him, like, coming up to me to cuddle, because we always cuddled, and he was like, he looked like he was like, bro, what the fuck you doing out there? Like, who are you fucking hanging out with? Like, my cat was smart, bro. My cat was trying to look out for me, And that's the part that is shit. Years later, like, I stopped giving so much of a fuck, and I was so miserable and depressed and shit that I didn't care. I just wanted to stay inside my room and smoke. So I stopped going outside, and I would sit in my room and smoke. And sometimes my cat would want to come in, but I had to keep the door closed while smoking. So I would be, like, trapping my cat in my room with me while smoking, and I would try to, like, blow it out the window. But it's not enough, Like, if you hold a cigarette, Like if you've been around smoke, that shit's gonna go everywhere. It's smoke. It's a fucking gas. Like it goes, it's gonna blow with the fucking wind everywhere. So in other words, it was just me forcing my kitty cat to also breathe in smoke. And I know that sounds so stupid now, but I fucking hated that I did that. I fucking love animals, and I was forcing this poor cat. Not to mention my fucking family. Like I'm talking about my cat. Like I had my own family in the house that didn't smoke, and then they would always complain. Like damn, like I was so arrogant back then that I didn't give a fuck about how it smelled. I didn't give a fuck about the fact that they had to breathe in this shit too and probably get poisoned from it. Like I was just that addicted. And that's why I fucking hated that shit. Like it really makes you stop fucking caring about just your surroundings and your cleanliness of things. The saddest moment in my life, I think, and it was like a metaphor. It was almost like a little metaphor. I remember my mom got me either a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. And it's crazy because my mom switched up from being like any mom or parent would, like being like, nah, please don't smoke that shit, stop, you're fucking gonna get addicted. My mom went from that to buying me like this cool, it looked cool, fucking like sugar skull glow in the dark ashtray. And I ain't gonna lie, that shit made me sad. Because I was like, damn, this is what this is all my mom associates me with now, is smoking. And it's like, I was so unable to see it, but it's like, no wonder why, because that's, once again, all I would fucking do is, Mom, could you get me cigarettes? Mom, could you get me cigarettes? I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those underage people that would try to persuade people to get me cigarettes, because I was addicted at a young age. I learned at a young age how to be addicted. That's kind of how it works for everybody, though. Someone teaches you at a young age how to become addicted to it. Anyways, I want to rant about the next part. When I would try to do things I enjoyed, that I always knew I enjoyed, like just simply going for a walk. Now, in the small town I mentioned, it was beautiful, right? I had no excuse to stay home all day. I can go for walks anywhere. There was a beautiful park to go to and hang out with people, which I did. But funny enough, like I stopped going there as a younger kid too, because people don't like being around you when you're blowing smoke in their face. And it was just like, I stopped going for walks and I stopped going to hang out. Well, I started to go, but I wouldn't go without also bringing along, So I'd be going to go outside and tell myself, like, hey, I'm going to go breathe in some fresh air for a bit, get outside, clear out my lungs, and then bring one with me anyways. And then sit outside and change. Like, it would just come with me everywhere in the places that I never needed it. Just making it all the more clear that it was like, why is this... That was the question always ruminating in my head. Why, like before I knew it's just an addiction. When I was too young, I was like, why? Why am I doing this? But I kept doing it anyways because, you're addicted. The next part I hated about it, and especially I hate more about it now in hindsight, is the only people I ever really associated with were people who also smoked. So it was either, like while smoking, it was either I sat down with a bunch of people poisoning themselves who were fucking miserable and pretending to be happy. I mean, maybe they were happy about other shit in their life, but still, it's like, we're all fucking, like, sitting there shooting up our fucking nicotine and sucking it up, pretending that we're not sitting here addicted out of our will coming to the smoke area, wherever it was, like, all the times where I'd be, like, smoking. It was either that, and then it's like, or I tried to talk to the people that were, like, not smoking, and they kind of seemed like they were just hanging out having fun without that shit, but they wouldn't want me around, so it was like, fuck. Like, that's literally kind of how I felt. Like, I literally started to ruin my social life in a way. Because literally, I would choose cigarettes. I would choose cigarettes over conversating with other people. Like, I myself, I'm not saying cigarettes might do that to everybody, but I myself definitely, like, isolated. I isolated with my nicotine addiction. I genuinely do think that happens to everybody with it, because not everybody cares for it. Everybody knows it's bad. And you kind of become ashamed of yourself. Like, you literally become ashamed of yourself. So you have to start to hide yourself and literally hide in the fucking dark just so you can get your little fucking drug. All the more reason why it's kind of like, it's not that far off from other addictions if you really think about it. Like, people hiding in their little drug dens and shit. Like, in a way, people start to do that with their own fucking houses and nicotine. And then you go in their houses one day and you realize, holy fuck, like the walls are all fucking stained. Like, I don't know, it's shit that's really undermined, but shit that I fucking hate. Now, thankfully, like, at some point in my life, I quit early adulthood, I feel. Like, not early enough by any means. Like, I quit 2 years ago when I was like 24, but still, that's so long to have been smoking. Like, I was smoking from before even being a full adult. to pretty much being fully developed. But it's like, now that I am an adult and I quit, there's even more things I hate about it, and that's what I'm about to get to next. Once you stop doing it yourself, you're gonna start to really fucking hate being around it, and I'm glad. I'm not gonna lie. Even though this is a rant, the one thing I'm happy about is that I'm mad about being around it. Because now I don't accept it for myself. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking breathe in poison anymore. Like, I want to keep my lungs fucking clean, right? I want to keep my environment clean as I fucking can. The next part I want to rant about is other smokers. And it's hard to do this because I know that everybody's just addicted. Everybody's dealing with their own addiction. But now I live with someone who is the most obsessive smoker I've ever known, even more than I am, probably. But they're probably not the worst. They're probably not, because there's people that literally do, like, cartons a week. I don't know their exact level, but it's literally that in my own household. Now, like, admittedly, this ain't my own house. I'm living here. I want to fucking leave because of this shit. Because it's like, A, if you live with someone who smokes and you don't smoke, you'll know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. A, the fucking smell. It smells fucking terrible. B, if you're smelling it, you're probably breathing in the fucking third-hand smoke and second-hand smoke. Now, second-hand smoke's all the stuff coming off the cigarette and that the person's exhaling, that they're like whoever's smoking. And the third-hand smoke is the shit that's getting stuck to the walls, that's staining the walls and everything. With that, right? I also want to rant about this. Back to the topic of pets. My kitty cat right now be losing fucking fur, and at first we thought it was because she was in heat for a bit. We thought it was like, hey, maybe she's over grooming, because she'd be over grooming, that's why she's losing her fur. Turns out that could possibly be because of fucking being near smoke. If a cat gets nicotine on their fur, or just any kind of smoke or shit on their fur, it wants them to clean it, so they're gonna start to keep over grooming. And then also the chemicals get in their tongue. It's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. That's a whole nother level of shit I could rant about. So if you don't smoke anymore, and then you have someone, like, now I have the perspective of I used to do this shit, and then I used to question my decisions, and now I'm not doing it anymore. So now it's like, fuck, now someone else is fucking poisoning my fucking cat. On top of that, the element of what I was saying before comes back to where it's like, it's not even just the fucking cats. Like, myself. Now I'm worried about my fucking self, right? Because it's like, now, even though I quit, now I have to breathe in someone else's fucking smoke. My girlfriend, when I got with her, she was still fucking hooked. She was amazed at the fact that I even had a way to fucking quit. She didn't believe that I knew how to quit. I had to show her pictures of me smoking so she believed I ever even fucking smoked cigarettes. Sadly, I'm not even gonna lie about this. Literally, so I quit cigarettes, and then she would smoke and vape. I'm not even gonna lie to you all. I became addicted again because I got hooked on vaping again, and then I had to quit that. It's like how I told you, how it's like there are two different forms. Still just nicotine. It's still just nicotine trying to get into you. But I quit again because I knew what I was going through again. And I'm a fool. I'm such a fool because, like, when I first met my girlfriend, like, she would just hit it and blow it in my house, and I'd be like, at first I was like cool about it because I was trying not to be a dick, but I was like, wait, no, I'm actually not cool breathing in fucking nicotine at all to any fucking level. Like, fuck that shit. I got it out of me. I don't want to fucking die anymore. Anyways, I stopped that too, and inspired her to fucking stop. So, like, I'm so fucking proud. Like, I'm genuinely proud. Now, it's like everybody should be doing it for themselves, but, like, I'm proud of myself. First of all, once again, this ain't to brag about myself, but I'm proud of my girlfriend that she didn't choose the jealous route of, like, oh, you stopped, but I can't, so I'm gonna be mad and try to get you to keep smoking again. No. She trusted me. She trusted me that whatever I did for myself probably was a good choice. And I thank her for that. And if she ever watches, I thank her for that. Because if someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, I have a way for you to free yourself from your extremely troubling thing that you've been struggling with for 20 years. It almost sounds like a fucking gimmick, like a fucking scam, but I'm fucking free. So was I scammed? Was I scammed by a $10 book that cost less than a pack of cigarettes now that freed me from having to buy 2 packs every... Like, it's like... The logic, I'm wondering if it's there. If you're a non-smoker, it's there. See, I'm getting off track, though. See, there's so many intermittent moments in my life that I kind of forgot about where I was so severely addicted and just, like, nothing was happening other than just me being a miserable piece of shit, smoking, being a piece of shit, fighting with people, wondering why people were getting mad at me and why I'm pushing people away, why I was lonely, and then that cycle just continuing, and then me just... Until I literally lived alone and all I did was smoke. I want to just to show people, I had a terrible music, but I have a whole album that I used to make about myself smoking, and it's like in a fucked up way. It was kind of me, the artist part of myself, trying to make it. I made a new one too, but it's about other people now that I'm free. It's fucked up, I know. But anyways, I literally made this song. It was like, I could smoke in my attic. It's becoming problematic. It was just some cheesy lyrics, but I was just really trying to make a song for myself to listen to sit there and remind myself, like, hey, you're aware of you doing this and you can't remove it. Find a way to fucking remove it. Get help if you need to. Find a whatever it is. So like that was only like 3 years ago, and that was only like 7 years into my addiction. It's crazy how much more like little tales I could probably think of that if I really sit and think back of. Oh, I just remembered one thing actually. I lived with a group of my friends. Now this is after high school. After me moving out of my mommy's for the first time, my mommy's house for the first time. And, you know, when you're an adult living on your own for the first time, now you have no fucking surveillance over you to judge you for doing your... But now you have your friends. But every one of my friends smoked. So, literally though, among my friends, I literally had the nickname Cigarette Satan. That should speak a lot to you. That was my nickname, Cigarette Satan. It's... At some point, the fucked up nicotine addict in me was proud of it, and I was like, that's right, I'm the coolest smoker in the world. Look at me killing myself. Another ridiculous story I could think of. I know I'm getting a little overacting over here, but I have to. It's funny now, thinking back on it. I have to literally make fun of myself. I remember I would try to act so fucking edgy, man. There was this girl that, you know, she also smoked cigarettes, and she would hang out in she was my buddy's cousin, and, you know, I was trying to be cool, edgy, and impressive, even though I'm just realistically just the geekiest fucking person ever, and the coolest element of me was that I smoked poison. But literally it came to the point where there was like, we were smoking. I remember just being like really fucked up off dabs and acid potentially, and I was just, I remember just smoking a cigarette. This isn't a lie, people. Please don't think this is a lie. I literally, like, she was like, where should we ash this? There is no ashtray. And I literally, with like the coldest face ever, was just like, I am an ashtray. And like, it's stupid. Like, I literally burned my leg just to try to look cool. Like, I don't know if I have a scar or anything from it. It'd be funny if I did. Thankfully, I don't, but it's like... It's so cheesy. Like, okay. Before I end this, I'm trying to end this on, like, a happy note, because there's so much shit that I could keep ranting about that's, like, bad and negative, but... I think, like... It literally reminds me of the element of, like, you know, the stereo... I'm trying to think of a really good example. Yo, it literally reminds me of, like, Smoke from, like, One Piece. Like, you know? How it's just, like... It just looks so unpleasant to be around. Like, that's, like, how I view smoking now. That's just all I'm gonna end this on, is... Just look at Smoke from One Piece, and that's, like, his power. Like, that's, like, every smoker. Like, his powers are that he, like, what? He, like, sends his smoke into you, and then you're, like... and then you, like, pass out. Alright. I see my brain's going everywhere now, because I brought up some traumatic shit that I have to laugh about now. Please let me know if anybody else was, like, that edgy with it, as a, like, to the point where they're just like, I am an ashtray. No, I know what it reminds me of. It reminds me of, like, the shit, you know, when people, like, put it out on their tongues to try to look cool, or, like, people do this. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Look, I think I'm gonna have to make, like, a second part about this in time, because the more I look back and, like, the more I meditate on my former life and shit, no, I don't like to always dwell on the past, but I like to reflect upon this when I think about, like, how far I've come and how much better I feel since that shit. And that's all the more reason why I have to rant about this now, because it's like, all the frustration that I had from it before just went into doing it. Like, it's like you get mad at it, and then you're mad that you have to keep smoking them, and then you go smoke them, and then fuel the addiction even more. It's such a weird addiction, isn't it? Anyways, please seek help from Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit if you need to quit. That's all I'm going to say at the end of this. That's my rant for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all later. I love you.